They won't start beeping until we get close. You'll see the red lights will start to pick up here.
No.
So it's yellow.
It goes like yellow, orange, red, sort of.
Yeah.
And then it screams.
And it screams at you. So you go in a drive, our camera's still on, but it's now in our forward vision. So we've got our front camera on now, see?
You're kidding.
And you've still got the same overview, and we still can see if we get close to something, our side will start to make a bit of noise for us. See? You get orange. You've got red now. So I'm not looking at anything but the camera. And I could probably drive in and out of this car park.
Following the yellow.
Following what's going on. So that's your wheel track.
Mm.
That's how your wheels are going to travel. Yeah. So in the reverse, and we're now doing the opposite. So it's saying something's in that back corner there. Yes, my mirror can see the other vehicles there. So you can slowly move around that. But look how good your vision is. Now, if you want to go wider, you can actually go to that width. Yeah. So you can actually see a lot more than you need to. So here you've got just the edge of your roller door.
Yep.
Here you've got a lot wider view if you need to. Or if you're on the curbside, you can see where the side step comes out if it's going to be near a curb.
Okay. Good idea.
So that you actually step there, you can sort of see it.
Right, so it's right, front and wide front, rear and wide rear, and that's the...
And
So,
side
yeah.
view.
So the controls on the right hand side, Grant.
Yeah.
Your park.
We'll just
drive,
move this
reverse.
back and we'll get Paul over my shoulder. Okay, so yeah, so up here, this is your gearbox selector.
Yep.
So down for drive, the D will be in a square. Up for reverse, the R will be in a square.
Sorry, where is it? Oh, there it is right there.
You push the stalk on the side, it'll go to park. If you had it in drive and you open your door, it'll go to park.
And to take it off park,
Pull down to drive or push up to reverse.
there's no.
There's no need for neutral,
Good away
no need
from
for
this.
anything else. Now, your park brake, see how that's on?
Yeah.
There is a switch near the headlight to release that. Okay? If my seatbelt is on, right, that park brake is autonomous. So, drive, let's go. I pull up, I take seatbelt off, park brake's on. As long as you use your seatbelt, that park brake is autonomous. There's no need to use the switch. I'm going to go to reverse. I'm going to accelerate away. Park brake will come off. Okay, so for the object of moving the van around the yard, you're probably not going to have your seatbelt on. So you're going to want to use the switch that's down near the headlight here with the P. So that's on and that's off. But as long as your seatbelt is on, that park brakes, there's no need for you to do that task. I actually can't. I'm in drive. I've pulled up somewhere. It's impossible for me to get out of this vehicle. I'm going to give it a go. Park brakes on, fin park. You can't leave the vehicle. Cool? If you go to reverse and you're pulling back somewhere and you decide to open up your door, it's going to go to park. So you then, it's going to go to park.
Does that only
If
apply
you
to the
need-
driver's door? Passenger door activated as well.
Only driver's door because this is
That's
versus in control.
Sliding door.
But if you sliding door will still work. But if you open your door and you want to back out by using the old-fashioned out the window thing, it's going to let you know. It's going to warn you, hey, your door's open and you're trying to reverse somewhere.
So is drive up and reverse is
No,
down?
no, D's down. Down for D, up for reverse.
Where's,
you-
sorry.
Okay, go.
No, just have we got a front control for the side door?
We'll look at them, yeah. So in your vision here, you've got your blind spot technology. So it'll pick up areas in your blind spot and it'll warn you in your mirrors if you try and change lanes. the car in white with the lanes at 60 kilometers an hour, that'll go green.
That's what these little arrows are for.
When that car is green, it's monitoring your lane behavior. If you veer from a lane, it's going to shake your steering wheel when the car will go red. So at 60 k's above, there's a camera in the front that's going to monitor your lane behavior. If you leave a lane, it's going to shake. Unintentionally. You indicate and change, different story. If you veer or have no steering axis input, it's going to warn you that you're leaving the lane.
And it's going to warn you because of the shake. There's not going to be an auditory.
It'll shake and it will give you a picture of that.
You won't hear a
car.
buzzer or something.
It's to wake you up.
Now that car image can change for you as a driver and become an aid for brake hold, it's called. So you pull up somewhere and if you just push the brake pedal firmly again, that car image now has gone to hold. Now that's holding me indefinitely. My feet are off the brake, it's in drive. Two things: fatigue. The driver can relax in that period of set of lights or a roundabout or an intersection or something. Secondly, you are now under maximum brake pressure. You're at the safest position you can be in.
And you activated that by just holding the brake for a while.
Just pushing it, a little stab at the brake pedal. So when the lights are green, I accelerate away. We move off. So we pull up somewhere, we push the brake pedal again. So we've now applied maximum brake pressure. We normally stop the vehicle at about 5 or 10% pressure, just so it doesn't roll. But you're vulnerable to other accidents in the intersection and things of that nature. So by applying maximum brake pressure, you're now in your safest position. If you're on a hill, it's going to hold the hill as long as possible. You just accelerate away. Cool? So you just give it a push. So you're now pushing more pressure onto the brake.
So just push the brake and let it go.
Once it's got that hold symbol there, she's on. And you can release it by pressing the brake pedal again. If you want, if you love to have your foot on the brake, go right ahead. You can do what you've always done, but there's features in this vehicle that will help you do these tasks. Regarding forward and braking, there is a symbol here that'll pop up. The triangle with the vehicle. That's active brake assist. If that symbol is on, that means at this speed in these conditions, you're too close to that vehicle in front. And there's a good chance you're not going to stop in time. If that red symbol is flashing, you're in a world of hurt.
Very nice.
It's not going to end well, right? What that system will do, it will warn you. I have a ton in the back of this thing. It's 4 degrees outside and it's raining. I know it's raining because the wipers are going. The wipers are going fast. It must be raining heavy. And the temperature tells me it's 4 degrees and it's 9:30 in the morning. And you've been driving for an hour and a half. So I don't think you're going to have the same level of attention you had yesterday in a sunny day and you just started driving. So I'm going to say you need a bit more distance this time of day.
And how did you bring that up, or it just comes up?
It'll only come up if you're in that zone of this is a bit close for an accident, right? If you don't brake and the vehicle in front stops suddenly, it will warn you and flash and make a lot of noise. If you still do nothing, it's going to apply the brakes and attempt to prevent an accident from happening.
Really?
If the vehicle in front stops and you jump on the brakes and the vehicle goes, hang on, Kevin's given us 70% brake pressure. I need 100%. I'm going to give him another 30 by myself. Okay, active brake assist. There's a radar in the front that's there to prevent accidents. It's not going to take over your driving and your knowledge. It's just going to
buffers,
assist
safety
you.
buffers. Do these windscreen wipers, are they activated by water on the windscreen?
No, they're not autonomous. You've got to turn them on.
Okay.
Yeah. Your headlights, though, are automatic. So they're on now automatically because we're on in this dark area.
Oh, really?
Okay. So in this center section, you can always pick up your camera if you just want to see what's going on. If you know, did I close the back doors? You can tell anyway. Or have I left a walker behind? Or have I left a client behind?
I was going to say.
Yeah, you can always turn the camera
What's chasing you?
on. This is your vehicle setup, all your assistance programs. There's your active brake assist. You can make it early. So early by being, it's going to give you a more of a buffer zone. Or you can be late if you're a good driver. You got reactions that are as fast as a Formula One driver.
Put it on early.
Put it on early.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to give you more of a gap in that zone area.
There's all different drivers.
Okay, acoustic lock, automatic locking the vehicle. So it means the vehicles will lock when you get to 15 k's. The doors will lock,
Oh, okay.
and then when you open the door, they'll automatically will release. Acoustic lock's noisy. When you lock it, you hear a beep.
Yeah.
I don't. But you can. Your drivers can work out what they like. Departure lighting and approach lighting are on. and system set up in here. This is for set up your Bluetooth, if languages, and also things like,
Does it do Canadian?
yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. The controls, so touch sensitivity. So I have a touchpad on my steering wheel that I can do exactly the same thing that we're just doing with my fingers on there. Right? So what I want you to learn to do is not touch that dashboard.
Right, right through them.
As you're learning, you've got every hard key: home, telephone, radio, camera, vehicle settings. They're all there. All your hard keys are there.
So hazard?
That's to go forward and backwards
Oh,
from
I see.
radio stations. Your hard keys are also on your steering wheel, but you've got soft touchpad keys, which means you should really be able to do anything you need to do. Listen to a podcast, take a Bluetooth, check your vehicle settings, put your apps in, change the radio station, make a phone call. My hands are on the steering wheel the whole time.
What's the phone call? What's the mic? Is that the mic up there? Or
Mike, I believe, is in this setup in here.
where's the hazard lights?
There.
Oh, there. Sorry. As soon as I said it.
So that same control here on the left is mirrored on the right. That does your dashboard. So it does this stuff in here. So you can put a radio on here, or you could put media on there, or when the service is due. Okay, let's have a look. AdBlue is full. When's our service due? 618 days from now, at the moment.
Really?
How's our oil level? Oil level's okay. It's
So
maximum.
you're just pressing one button that shows all the different things for
Yeah.
service check.
Particle filter, 38%. It's all good. So this is your same thing. So you can just scroll through, check your oil levels. Now I'll put your AdBlue gauge on here full time anyway, so you can see as it uses AdBlue, and there's your petrol gauge as it uses it there as well.
Same, it's the same setup as the old one with the door.
Door open, door closed. Door open, door closed. Digital speedo I think is a really good option to use at the start, but you've still got things like your distance, how long you've been. So I've done 98k trip down here, hour and 40 minutes. How I'm driving, I drove pretty well in your new vehicle, guys. I got an extra 29 kilometers from the start out of fuel consumption. This is constant fuel consumption. So in that charge section on the deceleration, what it does, it forces extra power into your battery. So it actually goes to 14.8 volts versus 14.1. So it's
So it's
pumping
using kinetic
charge.
energy to charge up your battery.
And to help
So kind of like a hybrid, but it's not a
Yeah.
hybrid. It's using that
using
power,
function.
friction,
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. So there's your range there. So you've got 614 k's to go in the empty tank. But I love a digital speedo because it's easy to see. I'm doing 16, I'm doing 38, I'm doing 81, I'm doing 82. Okay, on that subject, your cruise control has two functions. You've got cruise, which I would do when I'm going up to here, get to 100, hit cruise, forget about it. You pull down here, this changes to LIM, L-I-M, above the P. I now can set a speed limit. I want to do no more than
Gotcha.
60 k's an hour.
Right.
I want to do, okay, hit a school zone. I'm now doing 40. 2 presses. Vehicle won't go past 40.
So, which one does this kick off? Because a lot of cruise
20
controls.
k's
20.
is your lowest for speed limit.
Yeah.
I know a lot of car parks at 10, but 20 is your limit.
What does that button say? Is it?
So you got either lim,
Yeah.
which is speed limiter,
Yeah.
or cruise control function. So speed limiter is you limit your speed. So it won't go past 61 kilometers an hour. And I hit an 80 zone, I'm an 80 now. So you can focus more on driving and less of what speed am I doing? Yeah?
Yeah, but if you've got the digital display, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but I don't even have to look down. I know I'm not going to go past 80. Now, in an emergency situation, if you put your foot to the floor, it'll allow you to overtake to avoid an emergency, right? But under normal circumstances, you can put your foot down. It won't go past that.
Right. So how if you want to overtake, what's the distance you can overtake? Like, does it say, okay, you're up to 100 now? That's long enough.
No, if the vehicle go past there, go past there. But you can always just turn it off, cancel it. Yeah. So cruise has two functions. So this side will control that. This side will control this.
All right. So this side is here, and this side is there.
here. Okay. And it's a simple process. You can't even look. You can't even select reverse or drive without your foot on the brake. It's telling you, please apply the brake.
Oh, but it's telling you that.
It's like the Camry.
Air conditioning, guys. We'll talk about air conditioning because that's important for the rear. So this is your front control. This is for the front of your vehicle. So your temp, your direction, and your fan speed for the front of the vehicle. To do the rear, you turn the rear on. As long as that's flashing, you can adjust what's happening in the rear. I'm going to bring the fan speed up to 5 in the back. I'm going to bring the temperature down to 18 or 19. And that fans will start to kick off in the back there. Yeah? And then you press it again, you're back to front. So now I'm controlling the front of the vehicle. Client's in the back, it's a bit cold, press back, fans kicked in, bring the temperature up, bring the fan speed down. Yeah, so that's how you control the rear aircon, just by pressing that switch where it says rear. As long as it's flashing, you're in control of the back.
Flashing is control, but when you're doing front, it stops flashing, right?
Yeah.
So what is it now then?
Well, it's front because it's not flashing. But when you press,
so it comes forward
so
automatically.
the air's just doing its thing that we've set it to.
Right.
If you want to adjust the back,
Yeah.
you press rear and it'll flash, meaning you're adjusting the rear.
And it says how it says rear here.
Yeah.
Now you're adjusting the fan speed in the back and the temperature in the back.
Okay, then it comes forward.
And it'll come back to forward.
Okay.
And it'll always be default in the forward mode.
Right.
So you'll always control the driver's environment first,
Yeah.
and you control their environment later on.
What about the ejector seat?
We didn't opt for ejector seat because we didn't put a sunroof in. So we left it out.
You're
You
right.
get the sunroof.
You're right. It was a stupid question.
So the door, is there a
Door opening from here. There's a
okay.
switch. It'll flash. Beep. It'll open. You can then close it from here.
from the button?
You also still have the B pillar button down here to operate the door,
Or the handle.
or the handle.
Same as before.
Same as before. Also, the remote control has a button on the remote
On the remote.
to open and close the back
Right.
door. But yeah, just it's an easy press.
I think this has got a remote on the door, but three.
But what you need to
The other
do
one
then
hasn't.
is to bring these out. If
Yeah.
you're on the outside, it's easy to do it. But if you're coming from the inside, it's just obviously managing that part of it there. Come down. And away. And then close. Let's do a quick, I don't like Android, so but I'm going to do a quick CarPlay introduction.